Hey gamers, Tony here from the Smartphone Nation, joined with my good friend Rich from Review Tech USA, also one half of the Smartphone Nation. And here we are with episode 2 of Smartphone Nation News. Yes, we couldn't have come up with a shorter title. But anyways, what's up, Rich? How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Getting over being sick, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, well,
Hanging in there.
being sick sucks, and I watched your videos, and I hope you feel better soon, man.
Yeah, it's been a rough weekend. Been laying low, so
Cool. Well, I do want to tell everyone getting started, they're seeing some footage from Fast and the Furious 6, the game, because we needed another movie. And it's recorded as always with Hauppauge HD PVR2 on the iPhone 5. And that's all I have to say about that. So, Rich, we're going to start with talking about the OUYA today, right?
the OUYA. I was drinking the OUYA Kool-Aid hard last year. As a matter of fact, I'll send you the link to the video. OUYA is a very romantic idea. It's an independent console, not owned by the big three, not owned by a huge corporation that anyone can develop for. But time has gone on, and this was pre me having a tablet. Now, what I realized after having a tablet, and it's kind of like I had friends say it to me, but I was still like in denial about it, why I don't know, is the OUYA has a Tegra 3 chipset, which again is no dub, but if you really think about it, the OUYA is nothing more than a Tegra 3 tablet or a Tegra 3 smartphone without the screen that has a controller connected to it via Bluetooth, and you could actually connect a PS3 controller if you want to. The other thing, which, okay, at that point, I still would have given it a chance. Here's this small box that maybe people who just want to have a small thing next to their TV as a console, there's no games for it. And I know people are going to go into defense saying that, it just came out, but here is a fledgling company with a new type of console that has nothing to offer to entice people to spend $99, $149 if you want to have another controller, except like Final Fantasy 3.
Yep, I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
And a lot of people say, oh, but when you have a tablet, you have a screen on it and it has touch controls, you could hook up any Bluetooth controller to it. There's a matter of fact, there may be one that I'm getting sent to review that you don't even have to have it rooted. You could just hook it up right to it, and it works with a crap load of games where you could set it up to work with emulators, so on and so forth. And if you have HDMI out on your tablet, which I have it on both of the ones that I have, what's the difference?
Yeah.
What are you gaining from the OUYA? And they got to, I'm still going to get one, but they have to prove themselves to me, man, because they had me very excited in the beginning, and now seeing that the product, isn't really put together that well in terms of, like, I saw some issues with the controller, and seeing the fact they really don't have anything to offer that you can't get on Google Play right now, it just kind of has me scratching my head, like, where does this fit? Especially now that people are saving their nickels and dimes for either the PS4, the Xbox 720, and yes, people still want the Wii U. Why would they shave off $100 of their plus of their savings to get this box when they could play basically the same games on their phone, or if they have a tablet, they could have a console experience at home?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm afraid that the OUYA might have just a bit of an identity crisis, and I'm the same way as you. I pre-ordered it. I was drinking the Kool-Aid last year, and the problem, the things I like about it are the fact that it's cheap. I think $100 is, $100 is $100. We know that, but it's cheap, and if they could keep the production value, because now they announced, like 6 months ago or whatever, that they're going to come out with a new OUYA every year, that kind of thing. If they can keep it at $100, it might not be that bad of a thing. But I was really discouraged, when IGN obviously has had the console for a couple months, and they start doing, unboxings and all that stuff, and you watch it, and then you see like 3 or 4 games on there, like freaking games that came out on iPhone 2 years ago, like Final Fantasy 3. I reviewed that a year and a half ago for iPhone, and it's practically the same version. And I'm just like, and we could have played that on our DS 3 years ago, You know, and it's I just really I'm feeling like I might have an identity crisis, and I feel like they poured all that money and all that effort into making a really cool console, and the things that are working against it now is it's taking forever to come out. I mean, it still doesn't come out. What is it? Another month? Is that right? I mean,
I thought it was early June, but I could be wrong.
well, it is early June, but no, they moved it back to like the 26th of June. Just last week they announced, or 2 weeks ago they moved it back another month, and so it's like to the end of June. And so I still haven't canceled my pre-order on Amazon. I just can't bring myself to do it yet. But yeah, I'm like you. I'm really scratching my head wondering what the heck. Why didn't they pour into development? And now I signed up for the developers email. I don't know if you did this as well. In the past 2 months, I've been getting emails like once a week from them saying, hey developers, we're going to have this contest if you send us your stuff, or hey developers, come show off your game at E3 at our booth, like that kind of thing. And you just get the sense reading these emails that they're desperate for people to develop for the console. And so, dude, it's just, I don't know. I
mean, I read this article saying there was like 10,000 developers for the OUYA, but yeah, you're talking about the same people that are developing for tablets and smartphones. It's not like it's exclusive developers or developers developing a product that's solely going to be for the OUYA. And I don't know. I really just don't see that. I can't tell someone if someone's like, should I get an OUYA or a tablet? Especially if the tablet has HDMI out on it, I can't justify telling them to go out and buy the OUYA. There's just nothing that is like a must-have for it. And the thing is that sucks is that it's a great console. I was saying to a friend of mine, John, like how perfect it would be to have like OUYA have like a sequel to Castlevania Symphony of the Night on it. Like something like that. That's where I think that kind of market is for it. And they should have did something like to have like some kick-ass sequel, like have a kick-ass platformer that really can only be done well on the OUYA. And they just aren't doing that. It's just kind of like this console has no idea what the hell it is.
Yeah.
Yep. And with the Tegra 4 chipset out, it's just kind of like...
This took too long to get it out. They really did. I mean, I think they were talking like the first batch was supposed to ship in April or something like that when the Kickstarter was going on. And now, we're up to June. We haven't seen anything yet. I have a friend that supported the Kickstarter and was supposed to get his already, and he hasn't gotten his yet. It's supposed to come in this week or something. And so I'm like, man, it just took too long. And yeah, like the Tegra 4, it's already outdated. And I don't know. I'm still going to get one. I don't have a lot of hope at this point. So
yeah, I don't either. And it's combined with the fact that Tegra 4 is out, combined with the fact that the new consoles from Sony and Microsoft are right around the corner. They could tell me all day, oh, it's not this. You're not buying an OUYA. We're not making OUYA compete with the next gen consoles. But people who they're not gonna go. Let me buy this console with no games on it, or I could just save my money and get the PS4.
Yeah, people still have to buy it. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. Getting kind of the same feelings I had with OnLive. Great idea, really cool concept. Don't know if it'll actually work. So I hope it does, but we'll have to wait and see. So
we definitely will.
Also want to talk some. Man, you got the black lung over there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just playing. So next thing we wanted to talk about and touch on a little bit is the NVIDIA Project Shield. Now, a lot of you saw this at NVIDIA's conference at the end of last year. It's the portable handheld that has the really awesome little screen on it. It does some streaming of your PC games and stuff like that. And so this past week they announced the pre-order price for the Shield. What do you think, Rich?
Oh, God, it's going to be a train wreck. I just don't know. If you really think about it at the end of the day, it's a Tegra 4 tablet with a controller permanently attached to it. And they tout a lot that, first of all, I don't know if you mentioned it, it's going to be $350, which I'll talk about that in a second. But the feature they think that's going to be its selling point is the fact that you could stream your PC games to the tablet if you have wherever you have a high-speed internet connection. Now, but here's the shit kicker to that, is you need to have at least a 600 series NVIDIA card in your computer. So to even have that feature as a luxury, you have to have a decent, gaming rig. Like even if you have a 590 in your computer, you can't use it. You have to have a 600 series
Yeah,
because
and
there's
you
some
have to
tech.
have Nvidia. You can't. I mean, how
Yeah,
many
you
people
have to
run
have
AMD?
Nvidia.
I run an AMD. You know.
You have to have Nvidia, and it has to be a 600 series. So you could have, 590 still kicks ass and takes names today, but because it doesn't utilize some technology that the Kepler architecture utilizes, can't use it with the Shield. So not only do you have to have a $350 tablet on steroids, you have to have a decent gaming rig. So what the hell is the point of the thing? And again, it's $350. Again, pretty much the same issue with the OUYA. Granted, it's a lot more, but right around it's next gen Eve, let's call it, where the new consoles are coming out from the big three, and you're going to try to tell people that they should buy an Android device to play Android games on, and if they have a decent gaming rig, they might be able to play, because the internet connection is not going to be good everywhere. They might be able to play their games from anywhere they go where there's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, I don't know. It sounds like a great idea. Like again, even the Wii U tablet. Let's talk about that for a second. They touted the feature of you can play it anywhere in your house on the tablet. Well, only some games support that, and to be honest, I just never do it. So I can't see if I'm in my house on my internet connection having my PC sitting there, why I just wouldn't play it on the big screen. So it's a cool idea, but I just don't know that it's one of those things that's like, wow, it's something I really have to have is my PC game running on this 5-inch screen.
Well, I guess the thing was, anywhere you have high-speed internet, you could use it. So if you're at Starbucks, you could whip out your Shield, as weird as that sounds, and you could play Assassin's Creed 3 there. But again, is that really practical? Like, I don't know. And the thing, okay, it's going to have Tegra 4, but again, if you really want portable gaming on the go, I would go with like a 3DS or something like that.
Well, yeah, it's a full-featured Android tablet with the Tegra 4. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome in that sense. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I want a Tegra 4 Android tablet. The problem is even though the Shield is running full-fledged Android, will have the full-fledged, Tegra 4 Android experience, it still has the bulky controller attached to it. So it's not like something I can throw on my work, I can't pull it out in an office meeting and do tablet stuff on it. I could, but they're going to be like, why the heck do you have a game controller attached to your
Exactly.
tablet? So it would have been awesome if somehow that screen would pop off and it could become a tablet. Maybe that would be more featured, because I mean there are Android tablets that are $500 that people buy all the time. So it's not that the technology, the Android tablet technology, isn't worth that, but it's one of those things again with the identity crisis is it obviously is made for gaming, so it has a controller attached to it. Now it's a sweet controller, it's a sweet get up and all that stuff, but by doing, trying to do both, it doesn't do one or the other very well, and that becomes the big problem, especially for $350. That's just crazy money for something like that.
I have a feeling that in like 4 to 5 months, you're going to see that thing for like $199, because it just, I love tech, and I can't even if I had the money, I couldn't justify any reason to buy that.
Yeah,
it's just not a practical device. If they hit like the 200, maybe even 250 price point, then it would be a little more enticing. But that is a lot of money to ask, especially when at that price someone could buy a full-fledged gaming console. It just does not make any sense. It
yeah.
doesn't
Well,
make
it's like
sense.
you said, you can spend $300 and buy a really nice Android tablet that's multi-featured. And I guarantee at some point you'll be able to buy a Tegra 4 Android tablet when it's, out in the market and a bunch of people are using it for $300. And then you'll be able to like add a Moga controller or something like that and pretty much get the exact same experience. Because I guarantee that the PC part of it is they're building a lot of hype around it, but people aren't going to buy it for that.
No.
It's not practical.
That's going to go to the waste. Well, yeah, it's not practical. You need to have, you really think about it, you're going to need, you could build a PC with like a 650 in there. That's going to be like $500, $600, and you'd have to buy the Nvidia Shield. So you're looking at like around $1,000 to have a tolerable experience with it.
Yeah. It's
what is even the
stupidity.
point?
Yeah.
Or you could buy an Xbox 360 or a next gen Xbox and get a lot of the same games. It's like, yeah. No, I'm good.
Agreed.
So,
All right, well, that's all for Smartphone Nation News. This is Tony with my good friend Rich. We're signing off, and thanks so much for watching. If you want to pre-order the OUYA, you can do it in the links below. We'll also include a link to the Nvidia Shield. Thanks for listening to us chat about this. You guys all have a good night.
you have a good night, guys.